When we bought our tiny home, I thought I was moving into a tiny house, just a tiny house, and we live in a community. And at the time, I didn't realize that I would be moving into a community of like-minded people. Once we had purchased our home and we knew what home we wanted, we knew which model we wanted, and we were all set, and we financed our home through 21st Century Mortgage, which is the big one for tiny home more financing. So if you're looking into that, that is the mortgage company that that finances. Anyway, when we were touring communities, one of the things we discovered at each one we toured was that there was a sense of community, a sense of like-minded people. And that was different than anywhere we'd ever been before, so that was kind of mind-opening at first, but it was a good thing too. One of the things about the sense of community that we found is that regardless of what community you're looking into, moving into, it's everyone is there for specific reasons. Some people decided to go tiny because they're retiring, they wanted to downsize and have less to take care of. Some people wanted to be debt free. Some people are environmentally friendly. Some people are a combination of reasons why they decided to go tiny. So it could be for a whole host of reasons that people decide to go tiny. And I think for us, there was a lot of that we didn't really think about it, the community of like-minded people, but that's one thing that we really like in our tiny home community is that people are like-minded, and we've met a lot of people here and probably know more people here than we knew in all the time that, or personally for me, that I lived in other communities that were just standard communities or apartment communities or home communities, that there wasn't that sense of there's a reason I'm here. It was just like I bought this because it was the best thing on the market. I got a good deal for it. It's beyond that in a tiny home community. So I think that sense of like-mindedness, that sense of closeness, neighbor helping neighbor, that type of thing is very much real in a tiny home community. My first day of getting out here and starting to set things up, I was by myself, and a neighbor came over, brought me a homemade pumpkin bread, and I was just like, wow, who does that? I mean, I've never had anybody do that for me before, so that just kind of like, wow, that was really a welcome, and I think people are very welcoming in tiny home communities. One of the things for me specifically in going tiny was there would be less cleaning because in a conventional home there is a lot of wasted space, and even though you might not be using that space, you still got to clean it. It's going to collect dust, it's going to it's going to get dirty, you still have to clean it. And so for me it was like I'm cleaning these spaces that we're not even using. I just found that there was a lot of unnecessary cleaning that I felt like I was never ahead of because I was working full time, taking care of the dogs, helping my partner who has MS. And so there just never seemed to be enough time in the day. So here I've got 399 square feet, and I take maybe an hour, and that's a deep clean. That's like vacuuming, wiping down everything. And I usually do a quick sweep up every day. And then once a week, I do it like a thorough cleaning, which is like nothing. It's like it takes nothing to clean in here. The worst things I think is, and it's not even the worst thing, but it's the only thing that comes to mind is the extension you need to get up high because you have a high ceiling. So you need to be able to get up high in dust. And that's just not even a big deal when you're working with such a small space. It's easy to clean. And so you've always got a clean and uncluttered house, which I would say is an amazing feeling. It for me personally makes me feel lighter, free of all of the stuff that we had for so many years. So I think the less cleaning, a big plus for me. I love it. And I've heard a lot of other people say the same thing. I used to have, I've heard people in our community have 4,000 square feet house. And it's like, you never get done cleaning that. You're always cleaning. You're always doing something in a house that size. If you need that space, great. But most people do not need that much space. And especially if you're planning to retire, you're looking to downsize, you're looking for just a simpler way of life, tiny home living definitely is a simpler way of life, and I love it. I don't ever plan to go back. I think too, the less stuff that we have is less stress. And I've tried to explain that to people before, and it's like, what do you mean exactly? It's like when we had all that stuff that we weren't even using, and we knew it had to go, we had to go through it. It was just so much stuff that it actually caused stress, and it caused a sense of, oh my God, I've got to go through this. I've got to go through this. And how will we ever do that? And it wasn't until we actually bought our tiny home, our lease was ending, we knew we had to get out, that we had to put put that into action. And that's tough to do, um, because we had such a short timeline to get out of our prior lease. And so when we finally were forced to get rid of all of the things that we didn't need, that we weren't using, it was amazing how much you're not thinking about, oh, I need to declutter this, I need to go to the garage, I need to do this. You're just living in the present moment. And that to me is beautiful. And because we have less stuff, we bought size appropriate furniture. It doesn't feel cluttered in here. It feels cozy. It feels like it's livable. It feels airy. It feels light, bright. I love it. And I think that's one thing that people find amazing is you think you're talking about 400 square feet, maybe their bedroom is that size and they think, how could you live in this? But it's the way it's laid out, of course, makes the difference because you've got a kitchen, you've got a bathroom, a bedroom, and it can be customized any way you want it. If you've got the extra time for customization, which we didn't have, and extra money, which I didn't really want to spend, you can have it customized any way you want. And so tiny homes are, I think, going to become a bigger thing in the US, even though it is big now. I think it will become even larger as people say, hey, I don't want to spend $300,000 on a home, or 400, 500, whatever, wherever you live, depending on where you live. When you can get a home for under 100K, we got this home for under 80K, and it's wonderful. I found moving here is that I find that because I'm not thinking about all this clutter and feeling anxious about having clutter and things I need to go through in the house, I can live more in the present moment. I can hear the birds singing. I can see the greenery and the beautiful trees around us. I can appreciate living in the moment and just being present, enjoying the beauty of the country that we're of the countryside or the rural area that we're in, and just enjoying that and watching the sunrises, because I have a good view of the sunrise in the morning, drinking my coffee, seeing the sunrise. It's awesome. It's wonderful, and it's amazing that those things, when I was working prior to being laid off, when I was working full time and just into that mode and that grind and that go go go, I saw all these things, but I didn't really see it. I didn't really hear the birds singing. I wasn't living in the present moment. And so learning to live in that present moment and appreciating everything around, it's amazing. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced. It's part of tiny home living, absolutely. And it's part of also decluttering your mind, decluttering your life, and just living. And lastly, and really very important, is the financial piece. I mean, living in a tiny home, you have less space to cool, less space to heat. We've got the mini splits, which hardly take up like any electricity. I mean, now we're paying like $40 to $50 a month in electricity, and that's all we pay. We don't pay for water, we don't pay sewage, anything. We don't have gas, we only have electric. So $40, $50 a month. We used to pay in utilities for gas, electric. What else did we pay? We paid water, and it would have been probably $600 to $700 a month just in utilities alone. And here it's $40 to $50 a month. It's unbelievable. The first time we got an electric bill, I was like, really? Are you sure? And so it's wonderful. So there's the financial piece for the now and for the future, because if you're retiring in a tiny home, as we are, then you're aging in place. You're planning to stay there and age where you are. And you know you have this piece, this financial piece of the future where you're not going to be, your rent's not going to go up. You don't have to worry about rent. The electricity is what it is. Tiny homes are have come a long way, and they're very insulated. Like for instance, we have double pane windows, so it's quite insulated, and that's why, once you get it all skirted and everything, you're set and you're tightly insulated, so you're not wasting, and money's not going out on your electricity bill. So I'm quite pleased with the financial piece and the community of like-minded people. Everything feels cozy. There's less stuff. There's less stress. I'm living in the moment. And for me, I would say if you're thinking about tiny home living, take some tours, get some information. If you need to finance, look into 21st Century Mortgage. I'll put some links below for you, and just take some tours. That's very important. You can find a lot of tours online, which are great to get an idea. But we changed our mind at the last minute, and we decided not to go with a loft because it didn't make sense for us. So if you're interested, go out, take a day or two, take a week or two, and just go and look at them and see what it is you want to see. Check out some communities, depending where you are. We're in Texas. We're in North Texas. There's quite a few in North Texas. There's quite a few all over Texas. There's quite a few all over the country, really. Tiny home communities are becoming the next big thing. And so take your time. There isn't, unless you're in a rush like we were. Otherwise, take your time. And I guess I will see you on the next video. Thanks for stopping by. Comment in the comments, and we will talk on the next video. Bye for now.